Hi there, you're on a road trip with me, Robbie Rax, and today we're going to talk about laser hair removal. So there's many laser hair removal techniques and applications and machines that are out there, and I want to talk to you a little bit about those and some of the alternatives that there are to those, and about body hair removal for transgender folks. We're currently on a road trip from Las Vegas to Orange County, California, and the main reason for my road trip is I just had temporary tattooing, permanent tattooing done to my face, and so it needs a few days to heal. So I'm off of regular work and I've decided to take a road trip to see my oldest sibling. Now, my oldest sibling is post-operative transsexual. Some of you know that, and I've done a video about it. There's a video on my YouTube. Just look at the go down there somewhere and look at the history, and you'll find transgender sisters. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my sister here as I talk about the laser hair removal techniques. So, first thing to understand is, when I started my transition, don't tell anybody, but honey, I was an ape. I mean, you saw the movie Planet of the Apes? I think they made that after my family. You know, we're Mid-Eastern descent. We have hair. I'm glad to say I had hair. And I was nothing compared to my oldest sibling, my post-operative sibling, sister. She was the lead character in the Planet of the Apes. And she'd allowed me to say that because we've been through quite a bit. So keep that in mind as I talk about it. So when you say, well, I have too much hair, I'm too old, honey, all of that is a thing of the past, okay? If you don't know about the new techniques that are out there, I'm about to change your life. And I'm not even talking to transgender folks. There's plenty of women that have little hairs, armpit hair in different places. And there's men who just want it thin, so it's easier to, to control themselves on a daily basis. So, sorry about the sun, but we're going to live with it, okay? I'll move this a little bit. There. That's the best I could do for you. So old school, and I'm talking old school hair removal. You really had two choices for permanent hair removal. Now, for those of you that don't have any experience in hair removal techniques and you're wondering what there is, well, first of all, there's a razor, and that's temporary, obviously. Okay? There's Nair, which is temporary. Okay? There's plucking them with the tweezers, which is temporary. And temporary doesn't cut it for when you're wanting the hair gone, and you're wanting to use less razors, and you're wanting to be more feminine, or have easier maintenance. Okay? So, your first choice for permanent hair removal, and from my understanding, I'm no physician. I've seen enough, but I'm no physician. But for permanent hair removal, like forever, is what's called electrolysis. Electrolysis is the most expensive. And the reason it's the most expensive is because the time that it takes. Electrolysis is the actual hunting, going after, and killing one hair follicle at a time. Now, if you were like I was, honey, you're going to be at electrolysis for a long time. And electrolysis isn't by the hair, and it's not by the body section. Electrolysis is commonly about hourly wage. And so when you go on to an area such as here, and you're going after one hair at a time, you're talking a lot of time. Now remember, when we deal with hair growth, we have something like 4 to 6 cycles of hair growth. So as you have hair on you now, that hair will slowly die or shed. I'm not sure of the term, but basically it goes away. Okay? And the next cycle is already there. Okay? And then that slowly dies and sheds, and the next cycle is already there. So in other words, you have all these hair follicles underneath your skin, but only about 1/6 of them, 1/4 to 1/6, is actually sprouting hair at the time that you're doing a procedure. So you do the procedure, and you get all those hairs. You got to wait for the next batch of hair follicles to come up before they could go after, in electrolysis, each individual hair. I haven't had it done because 1, is the most expensive, but 2, it is the most painful. What it is, it's an electrical needle. A little needle, but it's still an electrical needle. And they find each hair, and they put the needle into the follicle, and they electrocute and kill the follicle. And since it's a direct shock to the follicle, it's permanently dead. So you're not going to get hair growth again. So that's why they call it the electrolysis is the true permanent hair removal. Very, very expensive. So that's been around for a long time. The next one is laser hair removal. And there's different types of laser, but when you used to go to a laser salon or a tanning salon, wherever they might have had laser machines, and I'm talking of a professional grade, these were the ones that had the flash of light, that you had to wear glasses, and the beautician wore glasses, and anybody in the building wore glasses because it was a laser flash. And the laser flash is obviously electricity. So, old school laser. And those lasers are still out there in abundance. Over 50% of them that are in the professional salons now are still the style of laser I'm going to talk about, which is a strike laser. Like a strike. It'll strike you. And they take the laser. Okay? Let's say my hairbrush is a laser. And they go right here, and they push the button, and you get a bright flash of light, and then you get a strike of the laser. So you get a strike of electricity. Now, have you ever been hit by a stun gun? Or shot a staple gun before? Either one of those, that's what it feels like. And I'm not talking about shooting it, I'm talking about getting it. Two. Laser strike, 1. Then they move it about a half an inch. 2. Laser strike, 2. And your body can go, whoop! Now there are those of us that are really good with electricity, and it's not much. I'm not one of those. Okay? I'm or electricity sensitive. I mean, you hit me with static electricity, and I'm like, ah! And so it's electricity is very hard for me, and that's what a laser is. It's blowing electricity. Okay, and now to make matters even worse, the professional lasers that are going pop, 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 pop. Okay, great. Now I got to cut down, a half inch from each side to doom, 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 doom. You know how long that takes? And do you know how many strikes that is? Very effective. Cost effective. I mean, you could get, you used to be able to get full body packages, and remember what I told you about when I started this, Planet of the Apes. I was a fool. And I went and I got so excited that I'm going to get rid of my body hair that I bought a full body package of strike laser. And again, like I said, more than 50% of the lasers that are still out there on the professional grade market and in the salons are that style of laser. So I bought a full body package and I paid $5,000 cash. I didn't even try it first. I was just so excited to get rid of my hair that I bought the package. And I went in. The place is now closed. And it was highly recommended. And I went in. And man, they're doing parts of my body. And I'm just like, what the freak did I just buy? Because I can't stand it. And the technician says, we have you on level 1. Now, to be really effective and get your body done in 4 to 6 treatments, we really need to be up to level 20. I'm on level 1. That's all I could take for that day. So I come in again, second time, and they do my face. And my face was red and puffed up. Oh, it'll go down. Honey, it didn't go down. I ended up at the hospital with an infection from them not cleaning the machine. And this is a top-rated salon. So they didn't clean the machine. Remember, I paid $5,000 for this. So now, not only do I not like electricity, I don't like strike laser, but now because it infected my face, my money maker, I was scared shitless. And so every time I went in there for strike laser, they'd go, don't worry, and I'd cry. I mean, wet tears of crying. Because to me, it was my only hope of getting rid of my ape-like body hair. I made it through 2 rounds. And I couldn't go anymore. And I gave up. I'm like, you know what? I'm stuck to a razor. I'm stuck to Nair. And all, just chasing it forever. Like many of you probably still are. Man, I cried. I blew that money. I didn't even try it first. I couldn't handle strike laser. And don't get me wrong, it's effective. And it's long term. And it's not permanent. When I say permanent, I mean forever. It's long term. It's years and years. However, you will need touch up as you go. There might be a little touch up here or there, little baby hairs, But I can't do strike laser. It's too intense. So the next thing I came across was electrolysis camps, right? And these are where they do an expedited electrolysis to you. And they'll have like 4 or possibly more electrolysis technicians, technicians working on you at the same time. Now, from my understanding, there are a limited amount of these facilities that will do a general anesthetic, I guess it is, a local, where they knock you out. I mean, they could zip through your body, and I mean, it's hours. It's hours. You know, it's not like it's, you know, any faster, but it's just more people doing it to you, so you get a lot done. But they put you out, and then you're out for a couple of days, you know, because the recovery. But I couldn't find one that matched what I wanted and cost that I wanted, and I really couldn't find one that would knock me out. But I didn't really chase it down either. So I gave up, and I stuck with the razor and the Nair, you know, and people telling me their success stories and their failures. And then I was on YouTube, and I was checking it out because I wanted to do it at home. I wanted to get a home laser that I could do my strikes at a lower rate, you know, in a smaller area, and just do it myself and get by. And I came across Soprano Ice. Soprano Ice is also called laser in motion. It's a new technology. Now, the great thing about this new technology is the strike type of laser, and I'm not sure what they call it, but it's a strike laser. You know, where's my brush? The strike laser is pigment-based. And so when I say pigment-based, I mean it has to do with the color of your hair. So the strike laser, it doesn't see gray hair. So honey, if you're over 40 and you're starting to get gray hair, strike laser will not get it. Okay? If you're light-skinned and you have nothing but very, very blonde hair, and I'm talking the really light kind, pigment-based, won't see it. So it won't pick up on it and go through it and kill the follicle. If you're African American, I'm not sure what's politically correct, but you know what I mean, the darker skin, and you have matching hair, pigment-based won't get it. You know, it won't see it. However, enter Soprano Ice, laser in motion, not pigment-based. Okay, so that's the first awesome thing about Soprano Ice. Not pigment-based means it doesn't matter about the hair follicle or the hair. Okay, because instead of a strike, what this laser does, it's laser in motion. So it literally goes like this, and they do it for 90 seconds per area. It's fast. Checking on my puppy dog. He's having a hard time this road trip. So the laser in motion is not pigment based. What it is, it's a heat laser. It essentially burns the hair follicle, which kills it. Okay? But it's not direct like electrolysis, so it gets most of them, and you got to do this a few times. But as they're going over, it heats the area, and it heats the hair, which carries the heat, okay, to the follicle and burns it and kills it to a very high temperature. Now, how does it not burn you? The head of the laser actually has a cool strip, and so it's like freezing or something like that, but it basically evens out the heat and the coolness to where it just feels like a gel going back and forth. Now, it is electrical based, okay, because the laser and the electricity create the heat, so there still is a little bit of a laser zap to it, but it's much more like a very light static electricity, and it's only once in a while. The only time you feel it is when they lift it off of you, or when they put it on you. But once it's moving like this, you don't feel it. It feels like gel going back and forth. Then when they lift it off, you feel a little zap. Okay? Or if they're running it and they go back and forth and come off of you, you feel a little zap. But it's no strike. Which means all of a sudden, it's doable. So I see it on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Changed my life. And I start looking for it, and it's not easy to find because it's a newer technology, and it's very expensive for the purchase of the machines. But as far as the purchase of packages, laser has come down so far in price. That $5,000 that I paid for my body, my full body, okay. For Soprano Ice, I paid $2,500. Because I asked them if they just have a dip tank that they could dip me in and pull me out and be done, but they don't have that yet, unfortunately. Or as the air blows, it just wipes your hair away. They don't have that. So I go in, and this time, before I paid, I said I'd like you to do a section so I could feel it. And then they pull out that laser, and it's brand new, and they clean it right in front of you. So you don't want to get an infection. You could ask them to clean it in front of you. And they run it across my arm, and I'm like, I'll take it. I'm telling you, for those of you that have given up hope, that can't take the pain, like me, find Soprano Ice. Find Soprano Ice. Find Soprano Ice. This will change your life. And for those of you that are transgender and battle with hair, you know what I mean? For you females, and I mean this politically correct, cis females, that battle with hair so nobody sees, Soprano Ice laser will change your life. And it does it fast. It does it fast. It's worth every penny. And if I could do it, you can do it. It will change your life. Thank you. I'm life-changing. I'm not. It's just what I've gone through. I'm sharing with you. It's amazing. It's like after your second treatment of the Soprano Ice laser emotion, there's no more ingrown hairs. My butt is smooth. The final little laser I'll talk to you about is a home laser. And a home laser, they have the strike, but they also have what's called IPL, which is it's more of a light-based laser. And I do use that. I use that in some of the more difficult areas, and it works. It doesn't work permanent, but it works long-term. The one that I have is it's an IPL, and since I can't remember which it is offhand, I'm going to write it right here, okay, in the description, or in the little area right here. I love when they do that on YouTube, so I'm doing it. And I'm passing Barstow Station, but that home-based laser, this one here, I like. And since it's IPL, there's no pain involved. And you could hit yourself anywhere with it. Anywhere. 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 Again, it's not permanent, but it is long-term hair removal. So if you do it for a few weeks and keep up with it, then you're not going to be pulling out your razors and having to do that. You're not going to have to go do your waxings and things like that. This will take care of the areas, and it's totally pain-free. Totally pain-free. My oldest sibling said she was the lead of Planet of the Apes, remember? She had electrolysis done to her body. A mixture of laser and electrolysis. And I can't tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars she spent. And the pain that she went through for the few years that it took her. And I empathize for her, because I could only imagine the pain to get where you are now. My loving sister. That's weird for me to say, but she is now. She's changed. Compared to now, with Soprano Ice, in just a few sessions of 90 seconds per area, I'm done. Check it out. This information right here, for a lot of you, will be life-changing. So, love a transgender. We need it. Bye-bye.